Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another Flosstube episode. I'm Liz, and I'm going to talk to you about everything that I have been crafting on these past 2 weeks, and it's a pretty good mix. Where was I going with that sentence? I don't know. I have a lot of fun stuff to show you in this episode, so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm still kind of testing out my new format of filming on Sunday afternoons, and sometimes I can get them up on Sunday night. I think I did 2 weeks ago, but I would say probably look for these videos now Monday mornings or Monday afternoon. I don't know. That's just kind of my guess. Still trying to, fit in filming around everything else, including work and life and all of that. Speaking of, I did have time to fit in another video this past weekend, so I should have a little sewing vlog coming soon for you. Very excited about that. I'll talk more about that in the sewing section of the program. But yeah, I hope everybody is having a good summer. We are really, really in the thick of it here. It is over 100 every single day, and there's no real end in sight. So I've been in the pool almost every single day when I get done working. And I think I am looking pretty tan. I've got the neon nails working. Did I have these 2 weeks ago? No, I got these last week. So here's the thing. I started doing nail appointments on Saturday mornings, like every other week, because my husband stays up late on Friday nights with one of his friends, and they play video games online, like not in the same, they're not both in our house. They're in their own houses. Technology. Do I sound like a grandma? Anyways, what it means is that he's up late Friday night, which means he's not getting up early to do anything on Saturday. So I was like, I need to start scheduling appointments or fun things for me to go do by myself that I don't need him for. So I started going getting my nails done every other Saturday morning, and it has been super fun. And everyone there is always getting super cool nail art, and I got jealous. And so this is my first stop into nail art, which is just getting multicolor nails. I'm pretty sure, okay, the reason I feel like I'm having deja vu right now telling this story is because I did try to do a sewing vlog last weekend, and it was the day I got these nails done. So I'm like, when did I talk about this? I tried to do a video, and then I had car issues. We had to take my car to get fixed. Anyways, so no sewing got that done, and that video never got finished. But I was just like having this thought telling you guys this story. I was like, I've told this story before. Anyways, what a weird start to this video. I haven't been up to that much other than work and swimming. I took my nephews to our kind of neighborhood. It's not like a water park, but it's got like water slides and obstacle courses like for the kids to do, but it's like a city park, so you just have to pay like a few bucks to get in. I took them there last weekend, which was a lot of fun for them and me until they got hungry and tired at the end. That it was fun for no one. But yeah, I've just been doing all the summer things and anxiously awaiting my next summer vacation, which is just a quick little 3-day trip to Las Vegas in August. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We went to Colorado at the start of June. Then we're gonna go to Vegas, and then I've got a very end of summer trip planned with my friend Liz Matthews in September, and I'm very excited about that. We're taking a little cross stitch, girls weekend retreat, and I'm very excited about it. So, okay, I have a lot of fun things that I've been working on that I want to show you, so let's get into it. I am going to start this video by talking about WhipGo. So WhipGo is the kind of work in progress bingo board created by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and you can find out all the information about it on her Facebook page or her Instagram page for WhipGo. But I have my board, I'll put it up here, and I've been making really good progress. I've been hitting all my goals every month. And so we're in July now, and for July, 3 numbers were called. And the bingo board is 25 squares, and so every month has 2, except for one month gets 3. And the month with 3 numbers called, one of them is the free space, and some people leave it empty, some people put a whip in, I think some people do new starts, and that's what I did, is I put a new start in my freebie square. So that's the only Whip Go goal I actually haven't hit in the month of July, which is weird, because I love to start things. So the other two goals, though, one of them was to finish stitching a piece. I did it. And then the other one was to finish stitching another piece, and I didn't do it. And in fact, I abandoned that project. And yeah, and I feel really bad. I hate like admitting that I'm just gonna like UFO something and not finish something, but I just realized like how much it was really not making me happy, and I gave myself a new Whip Go goal, and I completed that Whip Go goal. So that's what I want to show you guys. I'm gonna start with what I've completed, and then I'll show you what I'm abandoning. So the first goal that I tackled was to finish stitching my American Harmony number 3 pincushion, and this is by Summer House Stitchworks. It's just a little mattress pincushion where you stitch the top and the side band. And this had been a travel project for me because it's only 2 floss colors. But it also meant I really didn't work on it very often. And it was so close to a finish that I just put it on my Whip Go board this year and was like, whenever it gets pulled, it'll just get done. And I finished it. So here is what it looks like. This is the top of the pincushion here, and then this is the band that goes all around the 4 sides. And then this little back stitched square here will be the bottom of the pincushion. And so basically you assemble this by hand, and you have to back stitch around all sides of each piece. And so I back stitched the top, the side, and then I back stitched the bottom. So all it needs to be done now is to cut it out and sew it together and stuff it. So yeah, that is American Harmony number 3 and another big X on my Whip Go board. I'm really happy to have this one done. Let's see, do I remember what I stitched this on? I meant to look all this up before I sat down. I'm pretty sure this is a 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. And I'm using the called for red and blue, just 2 skeins of Classic Colorworks. So yeah, super happy to have this one done. And this will be, I think this will go together like the block party designs that Hands On Design does. I've done the Meow block party, and I'm pretty sure this will go together just the same way I did that one. So it shouldn't be a problem, but yeah, I'll FFO that one eventually. Okay, and so then I decided to abandon one of my July projects, and as in it's not going to get done, and so I wanted to replace it. And one of the things that had been on my mind was over my shoulder here, I'll grab it in a second, my Wordplays by Brenda Gervais. And I decided, let's throw a new Wordplay start and finish on there and get one done for August. So I started and finished the August Wordplay. And this, I think, only took me 4 nights, 4 days. It was super quick. These really are. They're mostly text with some little motifs. So why do I not have them all done? I don't know. But here is August. And as with all of these, I used mostly the called for colors, but I made substitutions. The floss list on these particular charts is extensive. It's not all in a line here on the back, otherwise I'd show you, but I think it called for almost 20 colors just for this really simple, like there's like 5 or 6 different yellows charted. So what I did, I went to my stash to see what I had, and I had a lot of it, and so I pulled those, and then the ones I didn't, I thought, well, one, is it one of the 6 different yellows? Why don't I just use one of the other yellows? That was honestly most of the substitutions. I think I had 4 of the called for yellow colors. You can kind of see them all in here. It's like flax and harvest field. I don't know. There's a bunch of Gentle Arts colors. And I just kind of made substitutions as it made sense. I really do love the look of all the colors she uses. Like it really does make it more like detailed and layered, and it's beautiful. But if I was kitting these up from scratch, I don't know that I would get all of these called for colors because some of them are used so sparingly, like in one flower or one motif. So anyways, I would just pull from stash, and that's what I do. And you know, I like to use the called for if I have them, but if I don't have them, I don't worry about it. I just sub in, and I think they're beautiful. So let me get the tin down from behind me and I'll talk about this a little bit more. So if you've been around my channel a while, you have seen this plenty of times, but this is a little recipe tin that I found at Hobby Lobby. I have not found it ever again since I bought the original one. So many people have asked. I'll show you the label. Ooh, I wonder if that's going to come in focus. Yeah. But I haven't seen them since I found mine. And I store all of my completed word plays in here, and then they are on, they have washers on the back of them, and then they attach with this magnet to the front. Obviously I position it a little bit better. But anyways, that is kind of how I like to do my word plays. And I'm pretty sure that's the 6th one I've done. Let me just double check because I have them. So we saw June on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, that was the 6th one because I have 5 completed. So June, and I have December, and I have February. I have March. And I have April. And I finished these all the same exact way, same exact size. And yeah, now I've got August all stitched up, and I will be able to get this fully finished and ready to display in the next couple of weeks. So that's exciting. Let's see, I stitched this one on 36 count sand by Picture This Plus, my all-time favorite fabric. And I stitch all of my word plays on 36 count Picture This Plus so that I know they're going to come out all to the exact same size. And yeah, and then I just do a simple little board finish. I've filmed this multiple times on my channel, but you know, maybe I'll film it again when I finish this one next week. And then they all just slide right down in there. There's 4 of them in there, so you know I have plenty of room to put the other 8, 7, however many more we'll need to fit in there. 7 more will go in there. So yeah, those are my word plays. Okay, so while we're talking about Whip Go, let me just show you the project that I'm going to UFO. Basically, it's never going to be finished. And it's this one. It's my Souvenirs of Summer. I talked about it the last time I showed this. I've worked on this semi-recently. This was a birthday start in 2021 for me, so June 2021, so a couple years ago. And I was so excited when this book came out because of this specific chart. I've wanted to stitch this for so long. It was out of print when I, you know, first saw it. And so I waited till that book came out, started this immediately. But I am really not happy with how the called for colors look on this fabric, which is the called for fabric. But I believe this chart was originally published probably in like 2008 or 9, I think. I don't know if it will tell me the individual charts. This was originally published in August 2003. Okay, so that is 20 years ago. Exactly 20 years ago. So this fabric color and floss colors have changed since then. And mine just does not pop off the fabric like I want it to. And so I'm just not going to finish it on this fabric with these flosses. And there's too much to pick out. Because like I don't mind, like I like the flag and I like the moth. And then I did pick a brighter white because I knew I wanted that. So like honestly, this, and this is all fine. What I don't like are the pinks. So the pinks and yellows that are kind of everywhere else in the design. And that's really the majority of the colors in the rest of the design. And I just don't like the way they're looking. And the greens, like there's 2 different greens, but they're not different enough. They don't look like they did in the cover model. So I just was like, you know what? I know I have half of this done. I have half of this stitched. But for me, it's kind of like sunk cost fallacy. Just because I've got half of it done doesn't mean I should push myself to do the other half if I'm not going to enjoy the end product. I'd rather cut my losses now. And so the rest of this fabric I can use, you know, I will definitely save the rest of this fabric, and I'm sure I'll have another project that would look good on this kind of dark medium gray. But this isn't working for me. So I do think I will eventually restart this on different fabric, maybe like a blacker. Honestly, I think it needs a blacker fabric with these flosses, or brighter flosses with a color that's kind of not quite black. You know what I mean? So I do think I'll eventually restitch this, but I don't have the right supplies or fabric right now to restart it. So that's why I decided to just take it off my WhipGo board and replace it with one of my Wordplays, because I didn't put these on my WhipGo board because I thought, oh, I'll just fit them in whenever. But I realized I haven't stitched one this year. Did I stitch March? Maybe I stitched March in like January or February. Maybe I've done one. I don't know, but you know, I have 6 more left to do now that I finished August, so I'm feeling good about that, and hopefully I'll get another one in at some point this year. So yeah, that's the update on WhipGo. Oh, one other thing I was going to mention is that my free space, I gave myself a new start, and I kind of have been paralyzed with too many choices, like too many options, because there are so many things I want to start right now. So one of those things is well, what's it called? Oh, why am I forgetting? Big City Christmas? I should have let me grab it. Okay, I don't know what bag I put it in. I just dug through some of those bags. But basically I have Big City Christmas. I did the monthly subscription club through Fat Quarter Shop to get all those charts, and now I really want to start them. And it is July, and people are doing Jolly July, Christmas in July stitching, so that's kind of been high on my list to start. But I was thinking, so it's a 7 design layout. Yeah, there's like 7 designs, and I was honestly thinking about just doing 5 of them and making it a little bit narrower of a row and making it quicker to stitch, and then I could just kind of pick my favorites. So anyways, I'm playing around with that idea. And then okay, I don't know if you guys watch Lauren, the New Hampshire stitcher, but you definitely should. Except that every single thing she shows right now, I just want to start immediately. So it's been a little dangerous because I am like this close to kitting up the Garden Sampler by Carriage House Samplings. Oh, so good. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, I have a couple of whips. I was like, am I already out of things to talk about? No, I've got a lot more projects. Also, a little bit excited to get to put a new project in this bag now that Summer Jubilee womp womp is no more. But I love this project bag. It's one I made out of Lori Holt fabric, and this follows my vinyl project bag tutorial like exactly. So if you want to make one too, go for it. Yeah, okay, so let me show you my works in progress. Okay, so other than the 2 projects that I finished, I stitched on 2 other cross-stitch projects these last 2 weeks, and one of them that I gave a lot of time to was At Home by Brenda Gervais. And I showed you guys this 2 weeks ago. I had just started it and was obsessed. I continued to be obsessed. So this hung out for quite a few days before I switched over to doing my WhipGo stuff. So here is where I'm at with At Home. And I am stitching mine on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I'm using all of her called for floss, and I freaking love it. I really think it's fun to stitch all these little like tree motifs. I don't know, I like the theme. Like I like all the little trees. And I just got down to this little blue basket, and this is like the first chimney here. So the house will go right in this section, and I'm really excited to start working on that house. For some reason, I find it so much more enjoyable to stitch houses when they are bricks with mortar rather than just like a solid color. So Brenda Gervais' Winter Rose Manor, I stitched that a couple of years ago, a year ago maybe, and that is just like the biggest, most solid pink house. It took forever and I got so sick of it. But for some reason, when houses have like little bricks and things, it like makes it more fun to like build the house. I don't know, for me it's just more interesting to stitch. So and it's actually probably slower than a solid color because solid color is easier to just fly through and fill in, but I have more fun with the bricks. So yeah, loving this one. And I hope everybody else who wants to stitch it gets there soon. I think maybe stores did not anticipate how much demand there was for this chart, because I know a lot of people are anxiously awaiting theirs so they can start theirs. But yeah, it's beautiful, and I'm hoping to kind of keep this one out and about and in the rotation at least for the rest of July, because I finished my Whip Go goals except for my new start. Okay, the other project that got a few days of stitching on it was my Love Boat sampler. And this is by Ardith Design. And I started this one at Stitch North with my friends Shiloh, Stitch MD, and Elizabeth, Frizzy Lizzy Stitches. And actually, I think a new Flosstuber I just watched, Lindsay, Cat Fur and Cross Stitch, she had this amazing first video. You should all go watch it, like a huge epic whip parade. And she does this thing that she calls secret stitch alongs. And I was like stitching and kind of, yeah, I think I was just stitching while I was watching. So like I was like looking down and wasn't paying as much attention. And I heard her say the phrase secret stitch along. And I was like, what? What does she mean? And then I heard it again when she talked about this one. And she calls it that because she started along with us. But like, we don't know her because she didn't have a floss tube at the time. So she calls it like a secret. It really made me laugh. And I really like that because I feel like I do that all the time. People inspire me to start things all the time. And then I'm like, oh, it's a secret stitch along. Anyways, I think she started this as well, and go give her channel a watch if you need somebody new or need a fun epic whip parade to see. And here, let's see. Here is my Love Boat sampler. So pretty. I love it, and I'm really excited to get more of this blue in here. The bottom of the sampler is about right here, and it's just like solid blue stitching with the waves on top. So I mostly worked over on this section. I finished off the whole top page, and now I'm on just solidly the bottom page, and I filled in a bunch of stuff kind of around here. And I think I added a couple more lines to the water, but yeah. This is the one where I did a full color conversion, and I think this is the first time I've ever done like a full color conversion on a sampler, especially one with this many colors. And the only reason is because I didn't have the color and cotton floss that it called for, and I don't really know where to get color and cotton floss. Now that I'm saying that out loud, that's dumb. I bet 123 Stitch has them, right? I don't know. As far as I know, my local needlework stores around me don't have them. So anyways, I just didn't have any color and cotton. So I was like, well, let me just pull from my stash. I've got this huge rat's nest of overdyed threads. Let me use them. But converting this was really hard. It was really tricky in some places to get the right shades of red and pink. So I would say if you're going to stitch this, just go get the called for. It'll be way easier. But I did share my color conversion, I think, on my Instagram page. Yeah, if you want, it's at Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, and I took a photo of all my flosses. And yeah, what else do I have to say about this? I'm stitching this one. Oh, is it 36 or 40 count? I know it's Weeks Dye Works Charlotte's Pink. And I really should have looked at all my whip information before I sat down to film, but I did not. I think it's 40 count because it's kind of it's like the softer weeks, but I'm not having trouble stitching on it. And so I think that means it's probably a 40. And I don't know why I keep talking about it because clearly I've already put it on the screen and it's just annoying me right now that I don't know the answer and I don't want to stop to look it up. Okay. Yeah, that's the Love Boats. I love it. I might keep this one out next to my chair for a little while too, to keep working on. There's a lot of projects I want to be working on right now, guys. And there's like 800 new starts that I want to make. Okay, that is the cross stitch whips. Let me show you my one knitting whip real quick. There's not a ton of progress, but I still want to show it to you. I am working on the Tanis Fiber Arts Rocket Tee, and I am just, I mean, maybe 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches further along than when I showed it to you last. I really only work on this for about an hour or so at a time every few days when I think about it. This gets more love when I am like out and about and have to like sit around somewhere. So if I have somewhere to go like that and take this with me, then it gets some work. But yes, this is where I'm at. I am down right below the boob line, I think. Got my little V-neck. Here's the back of it, the arms. I think I talked about this a couple of times about like how do you show knitting on a video, and I started watching some knitting YouTubers, and it's really fun. I don't think I'm gonna get like way back into knitting like I was 10 years ago, but I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. So far, I have resisted starting a new project because, you know, I'm really enjoying working on this one. But I do have a knit blanket that I started several years ago that I work on like maybe once every other year that I really was like, let me pull that out and work on it. That's in progress. Don't start anything new, you crazy girl. So, yeah, that's kind of my knitting update. So I was going to mention though, I'm sure you guys watch knitting YouTubers. I never really have. I used to read knitting blogs way back in the day, 15 years ago. That's what I never really watched knitters on YouTube though. Like I watch Flosstubers and I was like, why not? And sometimes they show up in my recommendations. So I've been watching Knitty Natty and I have been watching Obsessed with Socks. Oh, what's her name? Oh, I just was watching her. Obsessive Sock Knitter? Crazy Sock Lady. It's Crazy Sock Lady. And Crazy Sock Lady even does cross stitch sometimes and was showing that in a couple of her videos. So that's super fun and kind of expanded my YouTube world. So, oops, I hope I don't start just getting obsessed with knitting again and it takes over my life. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Still really enjoying the sweater. This will definitely probably go with me on my Vegas vacation because it's so easy to work on wherever and in mediocre lighting. I don't need good lighting to knit. So, especially not like a simple pattern. But yeah, anyways, that is my knitting update. Okay, sewing. I've actually been doing some sewing the past 2 weeks. Party horns. Yeah, so almost exactly 2 weeks ago, because it was a week and a half ago is Monday. I don't know. 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks ago from tomorrow. 2 weeks ago, I decided I needed to sit down and sew some of my Starstruck 2 quilts. And, well, I did, but this is as far as I got. I made 2 more blocks. So, not the best progress, but hey, 2 blocks is more than the 0 blocks that I have been making every other week of the last 6 months. Starstruck 2 is a quilt by Lella Boutique, and I love it. And my friend Liz Matthews and I both had the pattern and both had it kitted up, or I think she had hers kitted up, and I was like, let me kit mine up. And we planned this whole sew along, quilt along in February, and then womp womp, I fell apart and stopped working on it altogether. So Liz was working on hers 2 weeks ago and it inspired me to get out mine. And okay, I only did 2 blocks, but that's fine. It's a little bit of progress. I'll put in a picture of when I had kind of a big chunk of the blocks laid out to look at to kind of inspire myself to like keep working on it. And it's going to be beautiful. So that is where I'm at with Starstruck 2. And I have been wanting to start a new quilt, but not having Starstruck 2 was like making me feel like not having that done was making me feel really guilty about starting a new quilt. But it was also like preventing me from coming in here and even sewing anything else. Like I just really haven't been sewing much over the last 6 months, and it's weird for me. I like sewing. I like being in here, but I get overwhelmed at the mess that's in this room. All of the unfinished projects, sewing projects, because, well, okay, I shouldn't say all the unfinished sewing projects. I have tons of whips. It's the ones where I like put deadlines on myself and then can't get it done. And then I just paralyze and don't work on anything instead of just switching to something else and then coming back to it when I feel like it, like I do with cross stitch. Like, why can't I just apply that to quilting? So this week I was like, I'm doing it. And I'm pretty sure it was Mocha. I follow a bunch of quilty people on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure it was Mocha Fabrics posted a quilt somebody had made, and I fell in love with the quilt pattern. It's called the Madeline quilt, and it's by Penelope Handmade, and it is the easiest, super simple jelly roll quilt. And I am making the version that just needs 1 jelly roll and a background fabric, and I started it yesterday on Saturday, and I decided to film myself getting it started and being in the sewing room, and yeah, so I'll have that video coming out for you probably in a few days-ish. I don't know, maybe next weekend, depending on when I can edit it. But I thought I would show you guys, spoiler alert, how far I got on that quilt yesterday. So I completed 3 of my rows. So 2 of my rows that I did are these short rows that look like this. And the fabric I am using, it's a jelly roll by Ruby Star Society called Strawberry and Friends. That is my favorite. This fabric you will recognize from my ironing board probably if you've seen any of my tutorials. So yeah, obsessed. This was the fabric I used on my backpack that I made last summer. And there's another fabric I use. I love this fabric line. So Fat Quarter Shop does flash sales, and they do pre-cuts of the week that are like super discounted. And so I always check those every few days to see what they have like half off basically. And so that's how I got that jelly roll half off, because I already have so much of that fabric in my stash, but I was like, who can resist a half off jelly roll of fabric that you love? And I was really excited to find a jelly roll pattern so quickly that I wanted to make with it. And then this is the other little short row that I finished. And then I did one of the tall rows. All the pretty fabrics. And I did take a picture of it laying out last night to admire it. So I'll put that in here. But yeah, I'm very excited about this quilt, and I'm hoping, honestly, I'm hoping to be able to finish the quilt top by next weekend, because I think there's 11 rows to put together. I put together 3 of them. Those went, honestly, the 3 rows I put together in I think under an hour, like maybe an hour. So yeah, it should just be a few more hours to get all the rows together and then sew them together. So yes. I'm also really excited to get back to the Long Arm Quilt Studio again. I use Over the Top Quilting in Cedar Park, which is a place that lets you rent their long arm machines. And I haven't been, I think, since January, because that's when I did my Valentine's table runner. I think that's the last thing I've quilted. So I'd really like to get back over and quilt something. So I'm really hoping that I can get that quilt done soon and go quilt it. Oh, I was also going to show you guys, I do have the rest of the blocks all together, just in little piles to be sewn together, and then all of my long rows. So this quilt is sitting here ready to be sewed, and I'm very excited about it. Okay, I have just a little bit of haul and some happy mail, and then I'm going to announce some giveaway winners. So let me show you, I'll show my haul first because it's right here. The only thing, and I'm like racking my brain, I'm pretty sure this is the only haul that came in the last couple of weeks, unless I already started using something and don't remember. But I really feel like I've been pretty good lately and I've not been buying that much. Anyways, this is a Fat Quarter Club that I got from Laundry Basket Quilts, and this is the July Fat Quarter stack. And these are so pretty. I love it's a red and white theme. And I was looking through all of the other, so this is the 4th month that I've gotten this from Laundry Basket Quilts, their Fat Quarter Club. And I just like laid all 4 of them next to each other, and they all go so well together. There's so many mix and match. So I definitely need to think of a new quilt pattern to use all these fat quarters with, because I love Laundry Basket. So yeah, anyways, that is the Fat Quarter Club. Oh, and I was going to show you guys, so each month there's usually like a little extra with the fat quarters. And so this month was a pattern. And so this is just a real simple little square pattern that uses only the fat quarters and nothing else. So if you want to use up all your fat quarters and just your fat quarters, you can make this quilt pattern. So super cool. Love getting that every month. Okay, and then the happy mail I got came from Fat Quarter Shop. They sent me some of their new releases, and I'm very excited, especially for the quilty one, which I'll show you in a second. But they sent me the newest Lori Holt Stitch cards. This is Stitch Card Set Q. Super cute. They also just released a video on their channel showing how they turn these into little finished cross stitch pillows. So if you have a bunch of stitch cards and you want to know what to do with them, you can go check that video out. They also sent me the newest Chicken Club, which is Prudence. Super, super cute. Again, I love the detail and how she makes them look like her quilt fabrics, Lori Holt's own quilt fabrics. And then Lori Holt has a new foundation paper with the Fat Quarter Shop, and this one looks crazy complicated. I honestly don't know how people make whole quilts out of the foundation paper, because it is like so daunting to me. But it is beautiful. This is the 12-inch Vintage Sunburst. And then they made it in an 8-inch size. And they talked about it in one of their videos. It must have been their Quilty Friday live stream, about normally their papers come in 12, 6-inch, and 4-inch. But this one, it was just impossible to make a 6-inch size and have it come out nicely. So they did a 12-inch and an 8-inch size in this Vintage Sunburst. Yeah, Vintage Sunburst. Super cute. Then they also sent me the new stackables for June. So still on the very fun summery beachy theme. And then the last thing in the bag is something I almost bought. And then I was like, what if though? What if they sent it to me? So I didn't buy it. And they sent it to me. Look at it. It's the Seasonal Stitching Stars Table Runners. I want to make this summer one right now. This might be the new start after I finish the Madeline quilt. So this matches the cross-stitch designs that Lori Holt did called Stitchy Stars, which the first one was a summer one, and that's the one I have almost complete. It's in one of my whip bags. And then she did a Christmas version, maybe like a year later. And then now she turned them all into like little seasonal table runners. And I think they're so cute. And they're, you know, some of them are simple blocks and some of them are more complicated. Like I'm looking at, I feel like that block is one of the more complicated ones. I don't know. But there's only 7 of them. And it's just a little table runner. So I feel like this is a good project for getting like really detailed, interesting blocks, but you only have to make a few of them. And then it's kind of a quick finish. So I thought about buying the bundles that Fat Quarter Shop did for these, but I have so much Lori Holt fabric in my stash that I just need to use that. So I'll pick my own colors, but I want to do the same kind of pink and red summery, you know, 2 shades of blue, 2 shades of pink. Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'll do another sewing vlog next weekend and I'll get this one started. We'll see. I have grand plans. I feel like I'm getting my sewing mojo back and I have a bunch of new stuff I want to start. And I actually do want to work on a few of my whips. I wish I wanted to work on Starstruck more, but it's okay. I will come back to it. I need to stop obsessing about that one. Yeah, okay, so that's all the new stuff. Oh, thank you to the Fat Quarter Shop for sending everything. I will have them linked down below in the description box if you're interested. And let me do some giveaways. I had bundles last week that I made. Let me get all my stuff together. Okay, so the first bundle that I had up for grabs was the Autumn bundle of patterns, and that goes to Elaine Edwards. So Elaine, or any of the other winners I announce, please contact me at my email address down below. I don't recommend trying to get contact with me through Instagram unless we already chit chat on Instagram. Instagram, like, I don't know. Sometimes, like, when people send me messages, I have to allow them. And so I don't always see that list. And so, anyways, it's just not a very reliable means to get in touch with me unless, like, we already use that as a means to get in touch with each other, if that makes sense. Anyways, email me. Yeah. So that one goes to Elaine. And then I had Winter, and this Winter bundle goes to the Jim Stitchery. I always smile when I recognize names because it's fun to like, I'm like, I know you, I see your comments. Anyways, Jim Stitchery gets Winter. And then Summer, this is the Summer bundle, and this bundle goes to Brooke Siebert. Brooke Siebert. And this one is these 2 charts, these patriotic charts, go to Joy D. And this is your username on YouTube. This is what it looks like to me. So everybody make sure that's actually what your name looks like, Joy D. And yeah, that was the giveaways. So I think we've reached the end of the video. I am going to try to get you guys a sewing vlog in the next few days if you're interested in that. And I'm going to find something new to start for my last WIPGO goal. Well, let's see, will I be back by the time July is over? Yes, right? Okay, so it should be like July 30th on my next video. Okay, so yeah, I'll get to wrap up July WIPGO and all that stuff. Then, what else? I don't know. I didn't really think about my actual plans other than everything I've already talked about wanting to start and wanting to finish. So maybe I'll have a quilt top finished in my next video. Ah, I can dream. I really do miss making quilts, and I have been using the Christmas quilt I made last October, the Scrappy Trip Around the World quilt. I've been using that since I made it last October or November, whenever I finished that quilt. And I was just joking with Rob about how I don't have a summer quilt, and then I started this strawberry jelly roll quilt, and I'm like, it's gonna be my summer quilt. I can't wait. So I do really want to get that done quick. And yeah. Okay, I've run out of stuff to talk about, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.